Hi, howdy, welcome back. I thought we would look at one of my quads that I've had for a bit, not the longest, not the shortest. If you can't tell by the title of today's video, we're gonna look at Coco Mirage by Tom Ford. But first, if this is your first time here, feel free to reach down and hit like. If this is not your first time here, feel free to reach down and hit subscribe, down like, either or, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But remember, the more people that do, the more people I get to talk to about makeup. And that is actually my whole point of my channel, is just to have an opportunity to converse with people about makeup, like makeup itself. I really feel like that's one of those things that you either have people you like to converse with it about or you don't. And I've only got two. And sometimes it's a little difficult with just two people working, one person working overnights, the other two working days. It's up in the air. Okay, now a little background history on Tom Ford's Coco Mirage. Tom Ford's Coco Mirage was one of his first really good big sellers when it comes to his quads. Now, he discontinued this quietly. He quietly discontinued this about March to April of 2019. Okay. Now, what made Coco Mirage stand out and what made it, I think, such a hit was that it was such a basic neutrals palette, but actually it was this color, which is actually kind of like a reddish brown, is what made it so like a cult following. And when he quietly discontinued this one, he brought out something called Mink Mirage, which was basically these three colors still, but a black here. No, we're getting rid of he got rid of the reddish brown. So he kept these three colors and replaced this with black. I know a lot of people were not happy just because it didn't do anything for them. Like, I heard one woman describe it as, you can pretty much do a whole look with just the reddish brown and never touch the others. And that's sometimes all you want. You just want to dress up a day out on your jeans, or, you know, like just a standard thing. You don't necessarily want something too dressy. Let's swatch it, let you guys see. I managed to pick this one up new when I'd heard rumors that he was going to discontinue it. And I know that sounds silly, but usually with Tom Ford has no problem putting something on the chopping block that is popular. He's just like, nope, get rid of it. He's done that before. He's had a couple of them that are just been out of this world in terms of cult followings, and he just, bye. Okay, and this is our reddish brown. Ooh, sorry, eyelash in the eye. That is the one that people just, and then just a straight brown. But you see the reddish tone, that ruddiness to it? That's what people went crazy for. That is the big part of it. And from what I understand, his Mink Mirage, the one with the black, does not sell anywhere as good as Coco Mirage did. Nowhere near. Like, thinking, okay, you made a little bit of a mistake, because I don't see a lot of his quads that he came out with this last spring doing nearly as well. I think the one exception might be Noir Fumé, which I am hoping to show you here in the near future. I do have it, I just haven't had a chance to do a video about it. We're gonna do a little bit of a video involving these three probably, and using this one almost like as a brow highlighter, and see what you guys think. We're gonna do both eyes the same. Let's do something different for me. Both eyes the same. I know. I'm funny. Okay, what we're gonna do. Now, I keep in mind, and this is gonna sound silly, that Charlotte Tilbury was originally who helped launch Tom Ford's line. And I know you're asking, what difference does that make? But you will see a lot of her influence in a lot of the cult classic ones he had, the ones that really went over, a lot of those were her design. So when she actually broke away and made her own company, I think a lot of us were expecting to see a lot more of those. And it seems almost like in the last couple of years, like the last 2 years, she's gotten stuck in a groove. It's like been a peachy nude groove. Like, some of her biggest ones were, they were warm toned, don't get me wrong. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Oh, there's one that is just sold like crazy, and they never bring it out. Maybe once in a blue moon for a Christmas thing for like 2 days with Nordstrom's. I think she designed this one, and a lot of people compare this to her Sophisticates palette. Okay, see, very basic brown. Now we're going to take the reddish brown and put that all up here. Now, I don't know what it is about Tom Ford's ruddy colors, but I don't think they necessarily blend as well as they should. You kind of get that idea with Photosynthesis X too. Although it would not be the same reddish color, very close, very similar. So if you're absolutely in a pinch and don't want to do something besides Tom Ford, I would say use that ruddy color, but I don't think it is as well pigmented or nearly as brown. See? If we just use the socket line as a line, there we go. Visually, you can see it. Let's see if I can just take that a little higher up. Now, I do not have my primer on. I usually do, and I think sometimes that makes these colors stick out a little more at the primer, just because it holds the pigment a little bit more. But I've been doing a lot of videos the last couple days. Parts of my eyebrow area are very raw from doing some of these. Now, let's get our white out, our very pale one. I don't really like the way that looks. I think because it's such a stark contrast. See if we can. Let's do it on both, but I usually, if I use this, I never use the light color. I'm too friggin' pale to give a crap. That sounds bad, but I am. Let's just blend that ruddy color a little higher. Blend it with so that we see almost the highlight on the brow. Now, let's get bum 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 bum. Okay, let's just get the brown out, the straight brown, the dark brown. Did anybody else try the Mink Mirage? I saw it at Macy's in Chicago, like in person, and I was not super duper impressed. I was looking at that going, it's not worth the price point. I can get those same colors and the same kind of quality elsewhere. Like, Tom Ford's got great quality, don't get me wrong. He's got an amazing quality, but I feel kind of like some of the quality has dropped off since Estee Lauder acquired him. Let's just say it out loud. Some of this definitely responds differently, if that makes sense. And I think this is probably one of the last of the older style. I really feel like he kind of sold out when he went Estee Lauder, but money's money. I get it. I just wish they had kept the formula, because a lot of his older formulas were talcless, if that makes sense. This one was not, but a lot of them were. Bam. Bam. Okay, now do we have any fallout? Just a teeny tiny bit. Plus, I think I got some under my eye. Just, oh wait, this might be from my last eyeshadow demo I did. Now, if you can get your hands on this one, it's gonna be a little older, but his stuff does last a really long time. The back says, the back doesn't list a date, if that tells you anything. It doesn't list 12 months or whatever. A lot of the powders last a lot longer than the usual prescribed 12 months. 12 months and giving you the lifespan is just their way of getting out of getting sued if somebody gets an eye infection. Okay. See now, see the ruddiness on the top brown? That's what a lot of people went for. And honestly, I can see that as being a big draw. Like, I would probably, if this was by itself, I would probably still have bought the ruddy red. Like I said, the Photosynthesis has a very similar color, but not quite. So if you were a big fan of this one and you cannot get a hold of it, which right now is not possible, I'd say get your Mink Mirage and then grab a Photosynthesis, but at the same time, you're, you know, spending how much just to get that color and this look? There's other companies. There's other ones that you could probably get this with. Although I think as Tom Ford sometimes is more of a, yeah, that wasn't the Tom Ford. That was a different one, I'm pretty certain. Because my last look I did, this side was all reds and pinks. Woo. Okay. And then this would be with just like a basic black eyeliner, maybe winging it. Understated, not too much. See, we don't have, let's run it over. Nope, we don't have a crap ton of fallout. In my experience, that's more of a characteristic of a good makeup brand. And this is gonna sound silly. It's not having a crap ton of fallout. Now, if you ever buy something like BH Cosmetics, it is a lower end, pick it up, basically Ulta, I would call it almost drugstore kind. You're gonna have a lot of fallout, you always will. Tom Ford, you don't tend to have a crap ton of fallout or any at all a lot of times. Same with a lot of Charlotte Tilbury's stuff. Some of her newer stuff falls out a lot more, and I think that is the way she's reformulated the pigments. But this one, this has got the cult following, and it's very simple. It's very pretty. It's a neutral, and I know you think everybody has a neutral right now, but not everybody quite gets the right shade for the neutral. So that ruddy tone, that light reddish color, not everybody's able to capture that. Okay, guys, what do you guys think? What do you think of Tom Ford's new formula? What do you think of his old formula? Were you guys Coco Mirage fans, or are you Mink Mirage, or are you kind of like me, unimpressed with the Mink Mirage, going, I'm not paying that kind of money for that. That's a basic smoke palette. I'm out. I mean, do you think the formula's changed noticeably from before and after Estee Lauder acquired it? I know a couple of other YouTubers have thought that it's changed. Mel Thompson definitely noted that it did change. And I think you can almost feel it when you're applying the definite change in formula. Okay, leave me some comments. Let's discuss Tom Ford. Okay, have a nice night, guys. Be safe, okay? Wash your hands, social distancing, wear your masks. Thank you.